Give me 12 minutes, and I'll give you a whole new perspective on why your house is always messy. We've been told for years now to buy nothing, own nothing, declutter, and all the tips and tricks to make that happen. We've been taught about Swedish death cleaning and KonMari cleaning to live with only the things that spark joy. There's this feeling of moral superiority to a spotless house with perfectly matched decor, bare countertops, and undisturbed furniture. There's a subtle sense of shame to a messy or cluttered house. That was me. I spent years feeling constantly overwhelmed and defensive because no matter how hard I worked, no matter how many things I tried, my house always got messy again. Having to confront that reality actually changed the way I look at it. In my Mother the Mother course, the first principle we go into is cherishing yourself. And shame is the opposite of cherishing. So this video is a chance to look at the reality of the situation so many of us find ourselves in with fresh eyes and maybe gain a new perspective as I share with you this different way of seeing what you're doing and why. This video isn't for everyone. So if it's not for you, feel free to click away. No hard feelings. However, you might not want to because the time may come when it does apply to you or to someone you love, and you might want to know it. And if you disagree with me, actually, I love that. Let's chat in the comments. I'd love to hear your experience with having a messy house and everything that goes along with it. And if this channel brings you anything of value, please go ahead and like and subscribe now. It really helps the channel to grow and get out there more so that more people can hear this message. Now, I can hear you right now. Morgana, a clean house is important. It's important for health. It's important for our mental health. We all know that being surrounded by clutter is oppressive. You feel bad in a place that's dirty and messy and just closing in on you. It can make you depressed. And there's the clear value in having freedom from so much stuff to take care of all the time. Just to be clear, I'm not advocating for slob living. This is not about being content with being lazy or living in filth, but it is a new way, a whole different perspective that I don't think I've ever heard anyone approach before about the reality of living in a messy house. The first, my house is a home. It's not a hotel. Being spotless is actually not my goal. 9 people, mostly children, spend the vast majority of their waking hours living here, working here, learning, playing, engaging with one another, creating, eating, cleaning up, finding both comfort and adventure with freedom. Imagine if you were an artist or a scientist, and every time you turned around, someone had come around and cleaned up your project or your experiment. At the end of the day, we do clean it all up, usually. We sweep, we vacuum, we wipe cupboards, we do dishes. But if you came over right now, in the middle of a regular day, you'd find this morning's blanket fort still set up in the corner of the living room. You'd find the piano standing open with the music set out and guitar leaning nearby. There would be an elaborate dollhouse made of random cardboard boxes and tape and construction paper set up, and a whole world of paper dolls just waiting to be returned to on the hearth. And across the floor, various baby dolls, in and out of baskets, mostly with kitchen towels for swaddling clothes. Life is actually happening here, and I'm not going to interrupt it or hide it for the sake of appearances or judgment that may happen. This reframe alone has done wonders for my mental health around having this messy house. But that's not all. This next part hits a lot of us moms really close to the heart. If you look around online, it seems that everyone must have access to unlimited space, to the funds to buy whatever decor they want, whether it's new throw pillows from Target or a Ninja blender or perfectly matching baskets to hide their children's books in. We all make choices, and I'm not judging anyone who uses their life that way. But in real life, I think most of us mamas know what it's like to face real constraints of money and space. One of our life choices is for me to be at home full-time as a mother and homemaker. Don't even get me started on whether or not I'm working. But what that means is that we support 10 people on one income. We are happy and healthy in our home, and it holds us well. But apparently we fit more than 3 times the number of people in our house that the average home in America does. But the truth is, I actually think that the average American family, and certainly the average person worldwide, is no stranger to limited space. That constraint is not something to be ashamed of. As we embrace it, we can be more intentional about how we store ourselves and our things, how to fit it all together with gratitude and without shame. Because this way of living isn't just hoarding, it's not just trash. It's living frugally, creatively. It's anti-consumerism in action. You know what else you'd see at my house if you came over right now? A pile of cardboard sitting behind the trash can, waiting to be turned into dollhouses, swords, armor. A room full of fabric, odd sewing notions, thread, and an old sewing machine, where my daughters grow incredibly creative with creating costumes and doll clothes and anything they want to, really. You'd find a closet full of paper, random art supplies, scissors, glue sticks, and puzzles. Books, books, more books. There's a pile of random wood trimming sitting on the hearth, just waiting to be used for building log cabins, or whittling outside, or sword play. You'd find a drop spindle and wool batting. You'd find weights and a homemade ballet bar. You'd find various personal shelves with every random, useless, interesting little trinket a preteen could set her heart upon. Is it all perfectly organized? No, not by a long shot. I am the mom here, but I'm not the warden or the equipment manager. As long as they ask permission, the kids are free to use those materials and clean them up when the time comes. It's done imperfectly, often messily, but instead of needing screens, classes, outside entertainment of various kinds, and specific shopping trips for any particular project, it's a treasure hunt. It's a literal treasure hunt for what we can do with what we already have here. It's teaching a mindset of creativity, of frugality and resourcefulness, and of simple abundance in the home that we live in. Will it always look like this? No, life will change. I won't always have 8 children between the ages of 1 and 14 involved in this home at the same time. But for now, this messy house is far deeper than it just appears. It's part of a bigger picture, part of a very intentional life. Does any of this resonate? Or do you find that your experience differs? Finally, perhaps the most psychologically delicate and tender spot for us moms. My house is messy because I am not the maid. I am not the 24-hour cleaning lady. If you love that, if that's your thing, I love that for you. But so many of us are laboring under the weight of judgment, our own, our spouses, maybe our mother-in-laws, who knows? Could be anyone, maybe just the feeling of this is how it should be. And we're burning out our lives on things that don't really matter. And then resenting the people that we love the most for making the work that we're burning our lives out on. If you walked into my house right now, you would find dishes in the sink. You would find a pile of laundry waiting to be folded and put away. The floor didn't get swept after lunch, although it did get swept after breakfast today. And there's dust on the piano. And here I sit, creating, sometimes resting, sometimes reading, or being outside. Yes, Mama, you also live in your home. You also can make a life there besides always keeping it like a museum or a library or some pristine place where people don't live. There's a balance to everything, right? I'm not advocating for letting it all go to pot, for living in filth or excusing sloppiness. We have regular cleaning and tidying times built into our day, our week, our month. There are times to sort, to throw away, to give away, to move on. There are times to be a little stern with ourselves and get back on the path of discipline when it comes to cleaning up. But as far as messy, if this resonates with you, let go of the shame and embrace the season. And go watch my video on how living in your creativity can bring joy back into motherhood. Or maybe on how a mother's first priority is actually to rest. And I'll see you next time.